Hello everyone, welcome to this third set of mock test for the Power BI Data Analyst Associate exam PL-300. So we will start the mock test. What is the special direct query mode in Power BI that provides optimized query performance for analysis services models and Power BI dataset? So options are gateway, composite, import and live connection. So in the direct query mode, for the analysis service, it should be live connection. Which data types can be used as a filter argument when using the calculate DAX function in Power BI? Select all that apply. So for the calculate, we can use the Boolean expression, string as well, because we can write for example some column is greater than something, and we can use the expression as well, where we'll use filter or all or values or something like that. So I'm going for this. I'm not sure about this one. Next question is, what does setting the summarize by property of column to average do when the data in that column is aggregated or summarized? Options are sets average as the default aggregation method, calculates the arithmetic mean or average value, hides the sum and counts totals, display the median value. So obviously when we have the summarize, it is going to calculate the arithmetic mean or the average value. When publishing a Power BI app, which aspect of the user experience can be customized? So navigation structure, I guess, because user can navigate, and user permission, I'm not sure about this. For the data source credentials and schedule data refresh frequency, select all that apply. So I'll go for user permission, because I think we can add we can use the user permission. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just guessing on this. Next question is, what does the DAX is available function test for in Power BI? The existence relationship between tables. I think this one is the correct one. So the next question is, you have 5 reports and 2 dashboards that you want to save with over 100 users in your organization. What is the most efficient way to grant read access to 1 dashboard and 3 reports to all these users? Select all that apply. So move the dashboard and reports to a workspace and share the dashboard and reports individually with each other. Create an app from the workspace containing the dashboard and reports, then share the app. I think this could be the valid one. And share the dashboard and reports with a group that contains all the users. I'm not sure move the dashboard and reports to a workspace and share the workspace, but workspace is huge, uh, so this might not be correct. So the dashboard and reports individually with each user, it would be inefficient to do it because they're talking about the most efficient way. So another could be say the dashboard and reports with the group that contains all the user. Next question is, what type of connection provides optimized performance for connecting to an SSAS or Power BI model while keeping the data in the source system? So this one is obviously the live connection. Even direct query, we would have the data in the source system, not in our system. What is the purpose of max connections setting for direct query data sources in Power BI? So answers or the options are to specify whether to use direct query or not, to control the maximum number of concurrent direct queries, to set a limit of direct query response times, to limit the number of rows retrieved from the data source. So I think it should be max connection. From the name itself we can guess it should be the number of queries. What does import mode in Power BI do with the source data? So it is going to import the data, but in the background I think it is going to make the cache file, like cache a copy of source data within Power BI, sends the data to Azure storage. It is not relevant, combines the data from multiple sources into one, leaves the data in the source system. So it should be the cache copy. The next question is, you have Power BI dashboard that shows total sales for the current year on a card visual. You set the dashboard with the user using the viewer role. The user wants to receive daily email notification of the number shown on the card. What can you do to automate sending notifications to the user? Tag the user in comment, create a data alert. It could be one. Another is create a subscription and share the dashboard with the user. But in order to set the alert, it should be triggered by something, as far as I know. So it is talking about the automatic sending, so I think that is possible with the subscription. Next question is, which visual interaction option will filter the visuals to only display data related to the selected data point in another visual? So it is nothing but highlight, non-spotlight. I think it is filter. In the Power BI desktop, where can you identify rows with errors after loading the external sources? Options are in data refresh failures. So where can you identify rows with errors after loading data from external files? Maybe obviously in the visualization it would be late till going to the visualization DAX data refreshes. No, I think it should be in the Power Query transformation. What setting in Power BI service determines the frequency at which scheduled dataset refreshes will run? So options are refresh time, refresh window, refresh time zone, and refresh frequency. So it is the basic related to the frequency at which scheduled data set refreshes. So it should be refresh frequency. The next question is, you have a Power BI report that displays sales data for several regions in a line chart. You need to add an element that allows user to filter the sales data to only show a selected region. Which two elements allow users to filter by region? Select two. So the options are a drill through filter, a slicer visual, a table visual, a key performance indicator visual, a card visual. So it's slicer, I'm sure. Drill through, obviously it is not going to be drilled through, or it could be, but it is for, I think, hierarchical data. So I'm not sure. These are not, obviously. Select 2, it says select 2. So display cell data for several regions in a line chart. You need to add an element that allows users to filter the sales data to only show a selected region. So it could be slicer, table visual. What is table visual? I'm not sure. I'll go with the drill through filter. So the next question is, what does the count rows DAX function return when used on table in Power BI? So obviously it is going to return the number of rows in the table. It's pretty simple function. Next question is, you manage a Power BI workspace named Workspace 1 that contains a dataset named DS1 and a report name RPT1. A user wants to create a new report using the data in DS1 and publish it to a different workspace. How can you give the user the minimum permission needed to accomplish this while following the principle of least privilege? So option 1 is grant the build permission for DS1 to the user. I feel this should be the answer, because building permission means they can use the data. Add the user as an admin of workspace. Add the user viewer of workspace. Share RPT1 with the user. So as you can see, it is saying the least privilege would be, I think, this one, because these are going to have the higher privileges. You publish dataset with row level security to a Power BI workspace. The dataset has an RLS role named HR that needs to be applied to HR team members. What should you do to ensure HR team members have RSL applied when viewing reports based on this dataset? So from Power BI desktop, change the row level. So I don't think it is related to Power BI desktop. And Power BI, from powerbi.com, add HR team to HR role for the dataset. So they are trying to see the based on the dataset. From Power BI desktop, import a table containing HR team to team members. From powerbi.com, share the dataset with the HR team members. So I think it is better to keep the RSL role named as HR. So this should be the correct answer. So the next question is, what does the dot one suffix indicate when added to a column name after using the expand feature in Power BI? So I think it is for the duplicate. Yeah, the column was duplicated. When are two main options for combining data from multiple sources in Power BI? So the options are union, append, join and merge. So what are two main options? So yeah, if we talk about the combine option in Power BI, we have append and merge. Those are the options we have. What feature in Power BI allows you to view the DAX queries generated by visuals? So options are view traces in SQL Server Profiler. This is not related. Then performance analyzer, uh, export to Excel Power Pivot Table, enable direct query mode. So only option is the performance analyzer. What changes are made to a data source's location or permission? Which query are affected when changes are made to a data source's location or permission? Which queries are affected? I think no queries are affected. Queries in the same folder, all queries using the data source, only the currently active. So I think all queries using the data source, because there's no longer that data set in that particular location, and even there might be a case of losing the permission of the data. What feature in Power Query allows you to change an existing column's data type? So it's pretty simple. It's just change the type menu. So the next is, which DAX function checks if relationship exists between two columns in a data model? So it's nothing but is relationship. Next question is, what must a viewer role user be granted on the dataset in a workspace in order to build new content using that dataset? I think it should be the build permission. I think we did similar type of questions as well. Which option in Power Query diagnostic settings allows metrics to be collected for all queries to help the performance tuning? So options are enable for 1 hour, enable for admin only, enable for all queries, disable anyways. So the option diagnostic settings allow metrics to be collected for all queries with the help of performance tuning. So it should be enable for all queries. What information is conveyed when the certified endorsement badge is displayed for a report or a dataset in Power BI? The content contains sensitive information and has limited access. The content can be freely shared with the external guest users. The content has passed rigorous quality checks and is highly trusted. I think this is the correct answer. The content has been optimized to deliver fast performance. What capabilities does using bookmarks provide in Power BI reports? Select all that apply. So option 1 is exporting filter data and sorting visuals. So it says using bookmark providing Power BI reports. So bookmark is to kind of navigate to different pages. So we can see controlling visibility of visuals and applying filters, changing color theme and adding new visualization, building interactive data storage by showing different views. So I think we have to select some. So for me, I think these are the two options, because filter data and sorting visualization, it is not about the exporting and it is not about changing theme and sort of action. So I'm going for these two. You have a .csv file containing user complaints data. The logged field contains the date and time when complaint occurred. In the format date and time, to analyze complaints by date, you need to use the built-in date hierarchy. What should you do? So split the data logged into separate field and time field using at as a delimiter. Extract the time part, which is last 8 characters from the lost fields. Extract the date part, which is the first 10 characters from the logged field. Change the data types of the log field to date. I think it should be, we have to use the delimiter to separate the date, or we have to change the data type. I think one of these should be the answer. I'm going for this one. But even after doing this, I feel like we need to convert it into date format. That's why I think I'll go for this one. Again, same question is there. Now what it says, the format is YYY MMDD at HSMM. I think it is same. You need to analyze the complaints by lost date using built-in date hierarchy. What should you do? So split the lost column at delimiter, apply the parse date function logged columns, change the data type. So I'm going for this one. If I get this wrong, previous answer will also be wrong. Let's see how it goes. What are the two types of tables typically used in star schema data model? So it is entity, fact and dimension, and okay, this is fact and dimension. What does the add folder option in Power BI allows you to do in the field pane? So the options are secure access to specific column, define default aggregation for a folder, organize field into display folders, create calculated groups. So yeah, if we add the folder, then we want to keep some of the things together, so it should be organize fields into display folders. You need to create a data visualization for the HR department to show historical employee counts and predict trends for the next 6 months. Which visualization type should you use? So it should be none other than line chart. Which DAX time intelligence function calculates values for the same period in the previous year? So options are previous year, date at with 1 year interval, parallel period, and same period last year. So it is same period last year. What chart type in Power BI is most suitable for identifying outliers and clusters in data? So it is scattered plot, scattered chart. From where can custom visualization be imported into Power BI? Apply, select all that apply. So first one is quick insight or featured tables, the filters pane or .pbivij file, app source visual gallery, the textbook or hyperlink option. So for the visualization, I think it should be the file. This is visualization file, and then obviously from the gallery. Next is who can edit or delete users' personal subscription in Power BI? I think the one who created only the user who created the subscription, I think. Yeah, you have a Power BI dataset that refreshes hourly. The scheduled refresh was disabled due to 2 months of inactivity. Which two action will resume the scheduled refresh? So run a get Power BI report, open a dashboard that uses the dataset, enable query caching for the dataset, open a report that uses the dataset, import the dataset into Excel. So I think it is pretty much simple. From the options, we have to open the data dashboard or the report which is using that particular dataset. You have 5 reports and 2 dashboards in a workspace in Power BI. You need to grant read access to 1 dashboard and 3 reports for all users in your Azure Active Directory tenant. What should you do? So whenever there is something related to Azure AD, it should be create an Azure Active Directory and then share the dashboard with the group. You manage multiple dashboards in Power BI. You need to indicate which dashboards contain personally identifiable information, PII, when users browse the dashboard from powerbi.com. What is the best way to achieve this with minimal configuration effort? So I think not this one. Use Microsoft information protection sensitivity level. It could be the one, because minimum configuration effort. What is the easiest way to create a new measure from an existing column in the data model? Use a quick measure feature. They are saying existing column, drag and drop the column in the measure area, duplicate the column and convert it to the measure, right click column and select new measure. This is the correct answer. How can Power BI models can be customized with domain specific terms? Annotating measure with keywords, adding synonyms for tables and columns, authorizing custom DAX expression, importing a terminology file. So can be customized with domain specific terms. So how do we customize Power BI? Annotating measures with keywords? No, because we might have similar type of measures. Adding synonyms for tables and columns? Maybe. Authorizing custom DAX expression? Importing a terminology file? Okay. Can be customized domain specific terms. So I'm going to go for this one, because we can change the name or keep the relevant terms they are using in the company, something like that. When does a Power BI app that is created in Workspace become available for users to access? When the app is published from the Workspace. When the Workspace is deleted? Obviously not. When all included items in the Workspace are certified? When the Workspace is first created? So obviously the genuine answer would be when app is published. What is the first step you should take to test row level security roles in a Power BI service? Options are: navigate to the RSL page and under dataset security, assign users to a role, refresh the dataset, create a new role. So this is obviously we have to navigate to the RSL page. What permission level is required for a user to configure and schedule data refreshes in a workspace? Select all that apply. So viewer and contributor, they have limited access, so it should be admin and member. What type of model in Power BI allows combining data from both input and direct query sources. I think it should be composite or live connection, or input only. So both input and direct query, so I think it should be composite. The next question is, which DAX iterator applies filter row by row when processing data in the model? Add column, summarize, filter, and row. So here obviously it is the filter. Which of the following statistics are included in Power Query column profiling? So value distribution, column statistics, relation between, no, I think only two are mentioned. You have a Power BI report with one page that contains 2 line charts and 1 bar charts. You need to allow users to switch the measures, change the visualization type, and add a legend for all 3 visuals while minimizing development effort. What should you do? The options are: enable personalization for each visual, create a bookmark for each acceptable combination of visualization type measures, edit the interaction between 3 visuals, enable personalization for report. So changes the visualization type and add a, you need to allow users to switch the measure 3 visuals while minimizing effort. What should you do? So I think it should be create a bookmark. We can do that. Edit the interaction between the 3 visuals, enable personalization for the report. It enable personalization for each visual, so obviously it should be for the report. You have a sales data table with approximately 1000 rows. You need to identify outliers in the table. Which visualization type is best suited for detecting outliers? So it should be scattered plot. You have Power BI report with 4 pages. All pages contains a slicer for a country field. You need to ensure that when a user selects country on page 1, the selection is retained on page 2 and 3, but page 4 is not affected. What should you do? Sync the slicer on page 1 to 3, remove the slicer, move the country slicer from 2 to 3, the 1, remove the country slicer from page 1 to 3, and add the country field to the page level filter. So I think this is the one. Selection is written on page 2 and 3, but 4 is not affected. I'm going for this one. You need to create a reusable Power BI theme that includes formatting for fonts, colors, and visualization. This theme will be applied across multiple reports. What should you do in Power BI desktop to create this theme? Select all that apply. The first one is create a theme as a PPI viz. I think we already talked about this one. This is for the visualization. Create a theme as a JSON file and import it to Power BI desktop. And another one is use built-in report theme in Power BI desktop. What should you do in Power BI desktop? You need to create a reusable Power BI theme that includes formatting for fonts, color, and visualization. User built-in, because we need to create, so that doesn't mean we have to use the built-in. So obviously create, customize, so those are the words that I picked, and think that this is the correct answer as well. What is the requirement for joining 2 tables in the Power BI? So The options are the sources allow combining the tables. I don't think so. The table must share at least one common column with the same day value data. I think this should be correct. The data type of joining columns must match, not necessarily. We can join different data type columns as well. The table must have the same number of rows. No, this is also not the requirement. A company uses Power BI with a data flow that connects to an on-premise SQL Server database using direct query. The enhanced data flows compute engine is enabled. You need to create a report that meets these requirements, minimize online processing and calculation render times for visuals, include data up to previous day. What should you do? Options are create a data flow connection using data query mode, create a data flow connection using import mode for the daily with hourly refresh via Power Automate, create a data flow connection using direct query mode. So using direct query, so create a data flow connection using direct query mode, create a data flow connection using direct query mode, and configure a gateway. Yeah, I think we need the gateway as well, so I'm going with this one. What is the recommended method to add an image to a Power BI dashboard? So options are paste an image into a text box style, upload an image file to a dashboard, pin an image from a report, add an image style and provide the image URL. So I'm not sure what should we do. Power BI dashboard. For the dashboard we can paste the image URL as well. Maybe we not going to use this one, image in the dashboard. So I think the answer should be related to image URL, so I'm going for the last one. You have a Power BI report named report 1 that contains a visual named sales by month displayed as a line chart. This visual is pinned to a Power BI desktop named dashboard 1. In report 1 you change the sales by month visual from a line chart to a bar chart. What should you do to ensure the dashboard 1 displays the bar chart version of the sales by month visual instead of the line chart? So I think we need to pin the something to a dashboard. The visual is pinned to a PI dashboard named dashboard 1. Report 1 uses this, but what should you do ensure dashboard 1 displays the bar chart version of the sales by month instead of the line chart? Yeah, obviously we need to pin the bar chart. You have an Azure SQL database that is frequently updated with new sales transaction data. You need to generate reports to detect fraudulent transactions. The reports must show data within 5 minutes of any updates. Which data connectivity mode in Power BI desktop meet these requirements? So scheduled refresh, live connection, import, and direct query. So it says the report must show data within 5 minutes, so it should be direct query. Which DAX function assigns ranks to values within group or partition? So we have option rank EQ, rank X, rank, and top N. So within the group or partition, I think rank EQ or rank X. I'm not sure about this one. So I'll just go for rank X. What feature in Power Query can you use to pivot columns into rows based on unique values? First option is unpivot column, merge columns, aggregate, group by. What feature in Power Query can you use to pivot columns into rows based on unique values? So we can unpivot the pivot columns. What is the maximum number of Microsoft Dataverse environment a user with a Power Apps per user license can create? One trial environment, one production, and one trial environment. I think this is the one. None. One production and one sandbox environment. One trial or sandbox, I'm not sure. I think this one, sandbox environment. Next, so this is the last question. What is the effect of using distinct function in DAX expression in Power BI? Removing duplicate from the result set, sorting the distinct values. Obviously it is not about sorting. Counting the number of distinct values. Counting the number of distinct values, indexing the distinct values for faster retrieval. So distinct is going to, so we have to use the count in order to use, get the counting the number of distinct values. So it should be removing the duplicate values from the result. So this is the last question, and let me finish the exam. Oh, I got 90%, and we can see what are the wrong answers, and we will quickly go through the wrong answers, why those answers were wrong. As you can see, this one, so create a data alert. I was confused about data alert as well, but because we need to have some kind of trigger, I thought we need to have trigger in order to use this alert, but I think this is the correct answer. The next one is change the date type to lost. Oh, okay, I was thinking if this is going to be wrong, the next answer is also wrong. So the correct answer is extract the first 10 characters. Okay, I didn't think about this one because I was focusing more onto the changing the data type, because in order to create the date hierarchy, but it seems like we just need to take out the 10 characters. So obviously next answer is incorrect. As you can see, apply the parse date function to a logged column. Okay, the next one is same period. Okay, it's add with -1 year interval is correct. Oh, there is no same period last year. Okay, then this one is create a data flow connection using input mode with daily refresh. It is not data query mode or configure gateway. You can see other examples also, explanation also, why other answer are incorrect. For example, this is incorrect because creating a data flows connection using direct query mode uses direct query, which requires more online processing. So in the same way you can see other answers as well. And the last one is which DAX function assigns ranks to values within groups or partition. So I was a little bit confused on this. So rank.eq is correct. The rank eq function assigns a rank to each value within partitions. Rank is incorrect. The rank function assigns ranks based on the entire dataset. Then rank x is incorrect. Rank x ranks values within the table expression. Top n is incorrect. Top n returns the top n rows in the table. So these are the wrong answers. We can quickly also go through the correct answers so that you would know why others are not correct. You can see the explanation. You can pause the video and then go through it. I will show one by one. This is question number 1, this is question number 2, 3, 4. Why I'm changing the pages, I want you to look at these explanations so that you can understand why the incorrect answer are incorrect. The reason is mentioned over here. This is 5. Question number 5 is available for the existence of the relationship. This is number 6. Number 7, number 8, number 9, number 11. So question number 9, but it was question number 11. I was just counting the number. And this is question number 12, question number 13. So for example, here we can see why refresh time is incorrect. There is no refresh time setting. Refresh time zone is incorrect. There is no refresh time setting. In the same way, there is no refresh window setting. So there is only a refresh frequency. Question number 14, question number 15, question number 16, question number 17, question number 18, question number 19, question number 20, this is 21, this is 22, this is 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, this is 50, 51, 52, 54, 55, and this is 50. It was 55. Now this is 56, this is 58, this is 59, and this is 60. So this is the last one. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.